Hello, this is Chamizo. Today, the sites you see on the screen are the add-ons sold by Chamizo. Of task Samusuli Haichu, and today is about the NLA of the wiggle, to RTX, how to work with the system. I think there are a lot of people who are having a hard time, so I will explain briefly. First of all, Wiggle Tools, NLA, is non-linear animation, and here it is called non-linear animation. If you look at Wiggle Tool now, you can work with the layer function. First, if you look at Wiggle 2, it says Seam Mix Layer. Here, since this is now interconnected with NLA, it seems that people who are not familiar with NLA or who have not worked in this field are having a hard time. And even now I am continuously updating this Wiggle 2. But since it is not the first add-on I created, there are some errors. I have modified it as much as possible to avoid creating errors, and I'm continuing to update it. I will show you in detail how to use the NLA system of this wiggle. First, classify the action app windows in the DOB sheet, like this. You can set non-linear animation, like this here. Then activate Wiggle Tool here. If you activate it first and add layers, one by one, you can see at the bottom that the two NLA bars are activated like this. So now, if you have an existing animation for your character, you can see it here in dark yellow. Tomb Tower. If there is no existing NLA animation, it is done completely from scratch. First select the base layer, and then select the base action, here from the actions at the bottom. Now, this is a feature that has been added since 5. I think you can paste new here or not. I don't know the details up to this point. Anyway, click here and do what I do. After clicking, don't do anything first. In this pause mode, we will give this tail a simulation. Here's the matter. When the tail shakes, we will create an option for it to move naturally through simulation. To do that, we first need to create an animation of the tail shaking. You can go to frame 24 and have a keyframe automatically created like this, or you can press the I key here to create a key. Well, since it's shaking left and right, it will keep repeating. Then just copy it. Just press Shift D and continue copying like this. Like this. You can move it a little faster. Here, like this. Let's make it like this. And now turn off play as well. If you play it like this, as I said earlier, if you look here, the base action has changed to a dark yellow color. And if you look at the top, there is also a base action. And on its own, if you leave this as is, even if you apply simulation, here it will not be applied. Now, how do you do this? If you mouse over here first, it says push down action. Press the push down action. Then there are now two actions. Yup, creator, I'm going to close this again. I did something else here. Top seat action. The play button is gone anyway. If you right-click here on the base action here, and then look at the top right corner of the mouse on the base action, here it says tag order. All you have to do is download it here, and then do this again in the base action. After doing this, when I press play, there is no action. The two automatically merged into one. After that, the next thing to do here is to apply simulation here. I set up tail simulation. If you set up and play the tail simulation, the tail looks like this. Simulation was applied right away. After making a selection here, whether you do your hair or anything else, use the processor here to do something that suits your percept. And here you can increase the quality by about 8 to suit your system specifications. If you leave it at the default of 2, some errors may occur. And even if you don't bake it, it's currently 252 frames, while the animation is playing. If you go here and then go to frame, the animation will jump. The reason for this is that simulation occurs from frame L. So if simulation suddenly occurs in this default pose mode, a sudden phenomenon occurs. So to prevent that, check the loop physics. And if you look here, there is a pearl hole at the bottom. You can think of it as a virtual frame. What is a virtual frame? For example, the current animation starts from frame. When, however, the simulation starts from -25. Actually then, -25. The simulation starts from here. Who you are either officials, the simulation starts from -25 frames and adds another -24 frames to the end. That way, there won't be any crackling at the front or back. So after setting it up like this, if you press play, you should see it naturally. When you get to the end, and go to frame, it pops out like this. It's bouncing, but the reason it's bouncing is because it's a simulation. So you can raise the frame a little bit. And if you look here, the tail is now twisted like this. Right, to eliminate this twisting phenomenon, here is the angle limit and total limit, and here is the angle limit. Click here with the mouse while holding down the Alt key. And if you set it to 30 and then play, the tail doesn't droop completely. And since there is no gravity, the tail moves with the force of the tail. Because the tail does not move naturally, reduce this gravity value as much as possible. Reduce it to about 0.4, and then when you play, it moves very naturally like this, right? It moves, and now the exact answer is given as to why this NLA is being used here. Let's lower the layer weight value here. If you lower it, it won't move, right? The tail doesn't move, and when you raise it, it moves. It moves slowly, right? The stronger the rubber, the more it moves right. Here you set the value that combines the base layer and the action layer. The simulation is not happening at all right now, and it looks like this. If you look at it now, there is no animation in this layer called Actim. So even if you lower this value here, only the current simulation is reduced and the animation continues to occur. Right? We want to reduce this animation as well. Set Core here. If you do this, the simulation value that moves here, the value that moves here, etc. Make you This is the action editor of the action here. If you look at the act simulation, here there is no key value at all. Since there is no one, if you move it like this, only the current simulation will be applied like this. And the reason the tail keeps getting tangled like this is because these bones are rotating around each other. So let's take frame E here. After doing select hard, you can't just simulate it at the beginning and keep repeating it. So you can repeat it once and then bake. Sam Potter's song, My song, Hey Chu. Let's move like this once, after the animation is finished. After doing this, you can go down here and bake. Aibu, Akosebu, Li A Chu. There was a bake error in the previous version, but it has been corrected. If you modify it and do it as an upright, the keyframe is directly overwritten. Here on the act sim action. If you turn this off, a new bake action will be created. So those who had difficulty creating this NLA can simply use the method I am showing you now. Very easy, right? And now, in addition to this feature, one of the add-ons I am still developing is called Groon Follow. Say, I chew this gram. Follow was in the initial version. Chair simulation and other parts were very slow, but after I updated it, the speed has become much faster, and now the requirements are version 5. We have also added functions to support the new geometry. Here, simulation in version 5 too. If you look at it like this, the speed is very fast. Previously, when you increase these numbers, it was a bit stuttering, but now it's very fast. The speed was also very fast, and when I added children here, I upgraded the speed a little more because of the current simulation, but it is still not possible with this Blender. Because of Python's shortcomings and such, it's not that fast. Still, there is only one reason to use this add-on. The reason I use this add-on is that when I go to sculpt mode and brush like this, the children's hair stays on the face like this. No matter what manipulation you do, it will remain stuck here. If you try using it as a geometry node, it will explode. This is where this children's hair falls out. It doesn't stick to the face and starts to float. So, you can use it as a simulation. Later, in version 5.2, as is. I'll keep it very short today. B showed you how to use Wiggle tool, simulation, NLA. Go